Hello and welcome into part 3 of our Genlocke series, a series where Bird, Draco, and myself are currently competing in a marathon of Nuzlockes. Most of the rules are pretty standard Nuzlocke rules, but we added in the rule of not being allowed to use Pokemon on your team that you used in earlier gens to beat the Elite Four. As far as the scoring goes, it's a lowest score wins competition where you get a point for every one of your fainted Pokemon and every time one of your Pokemon exceeds the level cap. And so far, we haven't had anyone exceed the level cap, but we've definitely had some casualties. As it stands right now, Birdman is in the lead with a low score of 8 points. I'm trailing him at 15, and Draco is bringing up the rear with 27 points. Since it's the three of us competing, we all take turns picking a different starter from each other each gen. And Draco and Bird got first pick in Kanto and Johto. So I get first pick in Hoenn, my personal favorite region. And yes, I've done my homework. So I know that most people say that Mudkip is the clear best choice. But I know better. And that's why I'm taking the ultimate fire chicken. Give me Torchic. So what I've done on the previous generations is I've only recorded the gym battles or the Elite Four matchups. So what I'm going to start trying to do is incorporating my encounters and some of the other battles in between as well. But full disclosure, I hit record sometime after the fight with May here at the beginning, and it did in fact not record, so I don't have any footage until the first gym battle. I apologize for that, and I'll get better about that as the season progresses, as well as tweaking things here and there as needed. So please, any tips or recommendations that y'all have for me, please let me know. I am all ears. But we do get to see the origin story of the future team leader as we go to meet up with May. And we get a quick level up on the way there, as Torchic seems to like his new name of Brissinger. It comes from the Aragon series and is the allegation word for fire. If I was smart, I probably would have taken my time and grinded a couple more levels and burned a couple more bugs before fighting May, but what fun is that? So with no need to stop and smell the roses, we make a beeline straight for May, where Brissinger has a point to prove to May that he is in fact the superior starter, not Mudkip. Unfortunately, the Brissinger type move is not going to be the best option here, so we decided to bust out the spurs for this one. It appears that May and I both really committed to the classic battle strategy of scratch versus tackle here, where it never even gets close. Not even once. I mean, what even is crit range? And with one final slash of his talons, Brissinger seals the deal and we get to go on our merry way and enjoy the rest of our journey. However, like I said before, I did not record like I thought I was, but what better way for you to meet the new members than showcasing them in a gym battle. The first gym leader we have to face is Roxanne, and her rock typing wouldn't be that bad for Brissinger if it wasn't for the fact that her ace is level 14, cutting down our level cap 2 levels before we learn the move double kick. So we decided to go ahead and box Brissinger for this go round and let the others get a turn. Despite the fact that I did not have a single water or grass encounter before we got here. That's okay though, as we get to showcase our Petalburg Woods encounter here in Slack Queen, which she's going to do what she does best at this level, which is sleepy time shenanigans. Good thing and bad thing about using Yawn is it takes a turn before it goes to sleep, which is good because that means I'm not wasting any of Geodude's sleep turns before getting to attack when I switch out. However, when I do switch out, somebody's going to have to take a hit. So I'm being selective about who's going to take this hit and being able to set up for the rest of the team here. And as you can see, that decision was Taz the Zigzagoon, who was the Route 103 encounter. And he's going to get off a series of debuffs here in the form of Baby Doll Eyes and Sand Attack, so we can drop Geodude's attack and maybe make him miss a little bit. If I had to critique my Nuzlocke ability, I would say my biggest weakness is definitely playing around with the crit range too much. So as Taz gets a little low on health here, we're going to swap him out because he's done his job. And we're going to move Slack Queen back in so she can do her thing. And then we're going to swap into somebody else that might be able to do some damage. I gotta say, Gardevoir ranks pretty high on my favorites list, so let me tell you how ecstatic I was when my Route 102 encounter was a Ralts. And no, I have not played any of the Earthbound games, but I sure have played a lot of Smash Bros, and I am a huge fan of Nessa's telekinetic abilities. Thankfully, Ness is able to get the job done against Geodude, thanks in large part to that critical hit and the setup from Taz earlier. And being able to get a couple double teams in there wasn't too bad either. And for a split second there, I forget just how frail Ralts really is, or maybe I was just pushing it with the evasiveness I had up against that nose pass. But I quickly decided to swap Ness out for a new face here. And I am so glad that I skipped ahead to Route 116 just in case we needed a new encounter for this gym battle, because Slack Queen's a little low on health right now. So the Skitty's going to get a chance to shine here and do her thing. She is going to take that initial shot, but that's okay, because Frisky likes to get risky, so we'll give her a shot at being clutch here, and she decides not to be clutch with that Sing attack, but she's here to do a job, so we're going to give her a second shot at it. And boom, wouldn't you know it, Risky Frisky gets the job done with a life to spare. And with that, we're going to swap into a new member of our team here. And out comes the very first capture I have made in the Hoenn region. And from Route 101, trigger the Poochyena. Living up to the hairpin trigger tendencies of Poochyenas, Trigger's gonna Ice Fang first and Sand Attack later. I've played a lot of Ruby and Emerald, but I've never played OmegaRuby before, so I was not expecting a Poochyena to know Ice Fang, but I think it's gonna make a great complement, especially for some of these earlier game fights. Looking towards endgame, Mightyena can be a little underwhelming. However, for nostalgia reasons, I think I may actually try to keep him till then. And just like for Frisky, we had to jump ahead of Rustboro City for this encounter. We went all the way to Rustdorf Tunnel and picked up a Whismur named Kinsuchi. Kinsuchi is a throwback to the original Naruto. She's the kunoichi who fought Sakura during the Chunin exams in the woods, and also again later against Shikamaru in the one-on-one portion. Now you may be wondering, why did he just use Howl to increase his attack when he's about to spam a special attack over and over and over again? Well, it looks like I made a mistake, but I'm actually just playing mind games with Roxanne. And if you think I'm lying, explain to me how else a nose pass misses this many times in a row. So after psyching her out and having to use my entire team that I brought, we do win our first gym badge without any casualties. And with that, we leave the gym with badge in hand, only to see a crime being committed by somebody evil. Just how evil they are doesn't become apparent to me until the next episode.